Hi, Assalamu alaikum. In this video, we will understand about why we should no longer intermittent fasting duration. For example, 3 days, 2 days, even 1 days. So why it is not good and what is the side effect of this regard to the fat loss goal. So, what is the problem behind it? Let's begin to understand, and we will understand about the all aspects related to the longer duration of the intermittent fasting. So, the first of all, we should need to understand about the intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting means the skip of the meal and no snacking. For example, within the 12 hours, so you should don't eat after 12 hours completed. You can eat and again switch off for eating and on again after 12 hours. This is the this is the process which that is helpful. So why the longer period of intermittent fasting is harmful and you can't lose your fat? Basically, remember that when you will go longer period of intermittent fasting, you will be hungry too much. After the hungry, whenever the fat will be lose too much, but when you will eat again, the suddenly increase the fat storage of the fat will be increased due to the sudden spike of the insulin, which that will lead to increase the adipose tissue more. Why it is the problem? Remember, when you will not eat, so the growth hormone will be increased, will lead to grow your muscle, grow your hairs, grow your skin, grow your bones, etc. And insulin will not working and insulin will decrease. So in this way the insulin will not work, so the catabolism will be occur. The longer duration of the catabolism is harmful. How it is possible? Let's begin to understand. So when you will go into the starvation mode, so whenever you will eat, the starvation response will lead to again refill the adipose tissue due to the intake of the sugar or fat or protein, even whatever you will eat. So in this way, basically the response of the starvation through brain will lead to enhance the adipose tissue and storage of the fat will be increased. This is the mechanism and why you should restrict the diet within the 12 hours or 16 hours, even 20 hours you can do, but 3 days or 2 days it is not good. So remember, when you will not eat, so the you go into the starvation mode and the lipolysis will occur, and on the other hand a lot of things, the hypoglycemia will occur as well as hypercholesteremia will occur, and in this way the growth hormone will be increased, will lead to trigger the lipolysis when you will eat, but the eat healthy food which that is unspikeable of insulin. So the insulin should be buffered and decrease the insulin. For example, fat containing diet. So in this way also the nutrient rich food should be consumed for working normal physiology of our body. So in this way, you should remember that basically when you will not eat, so lipolysis will occur, and again when you will eat, the insulin should be not spike. And on the other hand, when you will eat but eat less, and on the other hand, when you will eat short duration of the fasting, so your body will not give the starvation response because you are not going too much starvation mode. But normal starvation, for example, 2 times in a day you can eat, and in this way your body will learn that the food is incoming in your body, so body will not store fat too much, store fat obviously, but not too much as compared to the longer duration of the fasting like 72 hours, 3 days, which that is not good. And that is why the longer period of the fasting can be helpful, but remember that the obesity decrease mechanism is not working too much due to the longer duration of the fasting. But important thing you should need to understand, when you will not eat too much, time taking, when you will not eat within the longer duration of the fasting, so your body will weak also, because too much longer duration will not working as much. But one more important things I will address you, that when the adipose tissue will be adipose tissue will decrease the fat, so the gap are present within the adipose tissue again refill the empty spaces of the adipose tissue very quick, and that is why that is the problem. But yeah, when you will not more longer duration of the intermittent fasting, so the slowly decrease of the adipose tissue is very helpful, and that is the thing you should need to understand. But the complication, if we will discuss, there are many complications for longer duration of fasting, like ketogenesis increase, proteolysis will be increased. So the proteolysis will produce the keto acid. Keto acid will lead to cause ketoacidosis. So in this, the ketoacidosis can be occur. But on the other hand, important thing is that the rise of the ketones and beta oxidation will also produce more and more cholesterol, also, and basically more ketones produced, and sudden production of ketone will be urinate also, and expire through respiratory system, and you can feel the sensation of ketones via a smell. So on the other hand, important thing you should need to understand, that is the longer duration of the intermittent fasting can be work, but the slowly progress you should do with the slowly. For example, one day you will eat less within the 8 hours eating window, but the next day increase, and day by day increase, but the adaptation should be required. So that is why, when you will hungry, and after the long term of the starvation mode, when you will eat, your body will learn and give the response through starvation mode to refill your body via a fat, due to the spike, sudden insulin spike, and sudden insulin spike will lead to target to the adipose tissue. Extra glucose will enter into the adipose tissue, will convert into the triacylglycerol as a fat storage. So that is the problem which that you can face, and some people have, but some people not. Some people adopt the ketogenesis and work more a lot, but some people can't face this problem, and some people can face this problem. This is the different person due to the on the basis of their genetics, because we we are closely relationship to another, every person basically. So our gene is related, but some genes can relate, but some genes not. So remember, due to the evolutionary process, the past time, the people all over the world was fasting, but in this time, no fasting, but snacking and take tea and other things. So that things basically harmful for everyone. But remember that snacking is not good during the intermittent fasting, so you should need to understand. And the meal reduction is very important, but the longer duration of the fasting is not good, because mm, you can create the acidosis, and pH of the blood will be decreased going to acid, and there is a lot of problems, like ketones will increase, will lead to ketoacidosis, and the kidney in the stone, as well as other problems which that is possible, like abdominal pain and a lot of stress. So let's go into the stress function. During the longer duration of the intermittent fasting can cause stress, but the shorter duration of the intermittent fasting will not cause stress. How it is possible? Let's begin to understand about that. Basically, when you will go into the longer period of the intermittent fasting, stress level will be increased due to the uh, parasympathetic nervous system inhibition. Due to the long term of the parasympathetic nervous system will not work, the intracellular parasympathetic nervous system will not work. In this way, the catabolism will progress, and the catabolism will lead to more positive feedback for the to the brain for more catabolism, and in this way the more catabolism will lead to enhance the adrenaline as well as cortisol hormone from the adrenal gland, will lead to more catabolism for consumption of energy from the adipose tissue as well as the muscles and a lot more things, and fat as well as glycogen depletion. So the glycogen deplete as well as the fat will be decreased. But remember that proteolysis is not good things, because the reserve of your protein is not should be not degrade, but your fat should be degrade. But the fat is the shorter duration of the intermittent fasting is good for the decrease of the fat. But remember one important thing, which that is, when you will go, the more cortisol will produce will lead to positive feedback to the brain to enhance more sympathetic nervous system. The fight and flight response will catabolism will trigger more, will lead to more and more bone deformation. The growth hormone exhaustion will occur. In this, the growth hormone will decrease ultimately due to the longer duration of the intermittent fasting. But the shorter duration of the intermittent fasting, the suddenly grow due to the growth hormone spike. But the longer duration of the intermittent fasting will decrease the growth hormone, but the insulin will not work also. So that is why the when insulin will be stopped and the growth hormone will be stopped, insulin like growth factor 1 and 2 will be stopped, so the muscle development will be stopped and bone formation will be stopped, as well as the hair loss and a lot of things. So the longer duration of the intermittent fasting will lead to also ketoacidosis, and ketones produce more. But the shorter duration of the intermittent fasting with a normal fat loss goal to enhance your health also, but also decrease fat quickly. So that is why. And number three, one important more important thing is that when you will go into the longer duration of intermittent fasting, your metabolism ultimately through adaptation. So the adaptation in our body, due to the learning, the food is not incoming into the body, so our brain will learn to give the signal for decrease the catabolism. And in this, the decrease of the catabolism means your body level, the metabolism will be slowed down. In this way, the catabolism will be decreased, and anabolism is already not working, because nutrient rich condition is not going on. So that is why the catabolism also decrease, and in this way, the basically is the leptin hormone will increase, will lead to inhibit the appetite also. So the appetite inhibition, and the ghrelin will be ghrelin will be decreased, so remember that. And the leptin will increase, will lead to inhibit the appetite, so you will think about that we should don't eat now. So that is why. And there is a lot of problem can be arise like psychosis, and which that you can think about that I should don't eat because I can grow suddenly fat. So in this way, may I can grow so may I can grow the fat. So that is the psychotic problem can be arise. But remember that things, the catabolism will be decreased. So in this way, the fat loss will be decreased, and in this way the retention of the fat in your body will be enhanced. And that is why when you will again eat, so the starvation mode response will onto the brain will trigger more adipose tissue. So you should do with a day by day, within the 3 month or fourth month, check yourself and how to manage your body it's depend on your own gene, because your genetic material is different to another person. So every another person require a different sequence and different style for eating as well as fasting. So you can discover yourself through a checking and examination your own body due to different set of the intermittent fasting. First of all, the shorter duration of the intermittent fasting, then the longer duration of the intermittent fasting, and it's depend on you, not depend on the you don't follow to another person, but just get the knowledge for understanding, but don't follow one person or another person to each other. So don't follow what you can adopt your own self. And how your gene work, it depends on your own genetics, and every person contain different genetics and different style of eating and different style of fasting. But the fasting benefit we are discussing in this video, and we are discussing throughout the videos about the fasting benefit and how it work. And in this video we have discussed about why we should avoid the longer duration of the intermittent fasting, because there is a lot of problems can be arise. So you should enjoy your life and get good health and due to the shorter duration of intermittent fasting. But the longer duration of intermittent fasting is not working as well. That is the problem, and that is the possibility for the fat loss when you will do shorter duration of the intermittent fasting. That is the main theme of the intermittent fasting. So the intermittent fasting means the duration of the starvation will lead to again spike the insulin. But remember that don't spike more insulin. How the spike of the insulin can work? When you will eat more sugary material, the more carbohydrates, so it will lead to get peak of the insulin secretion, and the when more insulin secretion will lead to get the more adipose tissue, and the more GLUT channel opening will lead to influx of the glucose, and that is the facilitate diffusion of the glucose. And in this way, the when increase of the more glucose into the adipose side will convert into the triacylglycerol. So that is why we should live with a moderate life. So basically smaller amount of the protein and smaller amount of the fat, not too much fat. Some people says that too much fat will work, but not. Just smaller amount of the fat and smaller amount of the protein. But remember that things, you should prevent the sugar intake, and carbohydrate should be a minor quantity, less than protein and fat, less than protein and fat, but minor quantity. And forget about the calories. You should eat healthy and nutritious rich amount of the vitamin and minerals containing food will work, but eat less. Just that is the main mechanism about the intermittent fasting. After the opening window for eating window will require. So in this video we have discussed about the longer duration of the intermittent fasting side effect. I hope you get that concept, and if you like this video, please make sure to subscribe, like and share. I am also making the handwritten tutorial about the biomedical science. You can also learn, and also the intermittent fasting. I have a lot of video about the handwritten tutorial. You can learn from that if any problem. So thanks for watching for this time. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, please make sure to subscribe, like and share this video to others, and see in the next video. For this time, bye.